Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we be doing a setup. This is a balloon garland under a tent. This is for a housewarming, but they doing the red and white checkered picnic theme. So I am just doing red and white balloons. The red is by Qualatex and the white is by Tuftex. Because I only had two colors, I did double stuff some of my 18-inch balloons, or 17, 16, whichever the brand is. I double stuffed them in the clear Bobo balloons. As you can see, the white one I just attached and that red one that's sitting on the table, it has an extra shine to it because I did double stuff it with a clear balloon. And then at the end I will be adding some of those 18-inch clear balloons by themselves, just as an accent on the garland, because it was nothing else but just the red and white, so I wanted to do a little extra pop on the garland. Right now I am attaching this to the pole by using the 260Q balloon, and I was kind of restricted to just that pole area because I didn't have, or maybe I just didn't think of somewhere else to attach them, so I kind of have to keep the garland in like that one area. And my new struggle that I just realized during this setup is I struggle getting a nice shape in a small condensed area. Like if it's large, I go all out because I like to do a lot. But when it's a small area, I notice I do struggle with getting a nice shape or design that I like. It ended up coming out great, but I could have like a little bit better. I think it could have been a little bit better. But so that's probably something I'm going to start practicing on by myself now, or just trying to make different shapes in smaller areas, or even, well, it's fall now, about to be fall in like a week or two, so hopefully I don't have to worry about any more outdoor setups until next year. But still, if someone wanted like a small garland in a home, I still want to be able to come in and create different shapes in small areas. So that's going to be something new that I'm going to start practicing next. But right now I'm just making those clusters, and some of the clusters I did do, like the cluster I'm adding on now was a cluster of 8 balloons, and sometimes I do opt for 8 balloons in a cluster for outdoor setups because we're outdoors, and as you guys know, the heat expands the balloon and they are more prone to pop outdoors. So because of that, I do sometimes do clusters of 8 balloons just in case the balloon pop, then my cluster is not looking skimpy. It still have its fullness inside the cluster. So this next cluster that I'm also adding is another cluster of 8 balloons, and it is, I believe, I did 2 16-inch balloons inside these 2 clusters, which I haven't done in a long time. I usually do my clusters with just 1 large balloon. I don't do 2 of them. And I don't know what, well, mainly because when you do 2 large balloons, it will push them out. Well, you can try to push them in where, like, I had the red one, they right next to each other, but sometimes you have it where it'll push them both out to the end, which I don't like that. So that's why I typically just do 1 large balloon in a cluster, but those ones I wanted to be really bulky, and that's why I did 2 and opted for 2 this time. But right now I'm just using my cluster. Oh, and I have Noelle with me today. She's been shadowing me for, I want to say, like 2 months now, coming on certain sites that she can make it to, and just helping me out, inflating, learning as we go. And I also have my little one. She was definitely with me today as well. And right now I'm just adding some clusters. As I mentioned in the previous video, I like to add those quads at the end and not a cluster, because that quad will create a more pointy look versus a cluster. It gives you a more bulky look. So, and I'm adding a quad to that front area. And this is how everything looks so far. And I'm adding on my 5-inch balloons now. And I was debating if I wanted to do those mini garlands. And I did create one. I'm going to do one more. And I know a lot of you guys been requesting on how I make these, and I try to do a little snippet in this video. I don't know if I was too far back. I may have to do another one for you guys. Comment below and let me know if you need one more, or I may just still, by the time you guys see this, I probably already have uploaded another one during the week of just the mini garland itself, so you guys don't have to wait until this video come out. So here you go. I see I'm doing the mini garland right now. I'm tying a 260, and I usually do it with one 260 at a time. I'm tying that 260 to a dupe, and I'm tying 2 dupes at a time. I'm doing the figure 8 method, and I'm just putting them right on top of each other in the opposite direction, and I'm just going and adding them 2 at a time, figure 8 method, and I'm sitting them right on top of each other. And that's how I make that. And when I attach them to whatever design I'm doing, I don't just sit it on top of the garland wall or whatever I'm doing. I like to kind of push it in between the balloons. I got that tip from Dress Your Daydream. She have a YouTube channel, and she's on Instagram by the same name, and she had a online classes that I once subscribed to, and I had learned that there about, and I think I did it before actually, whatever. But she also had the same tip on just pushing it in. Don't just sit it on top. You want it to look like it's a part of the actual garland and not that it's just sitting there. So something I learned or already knew, whatever. But right now I'm playing around with the garland at the bottom, because as you see, the quad that's right next to that white large balloon on the grass, it's kind of pushing it to the side, and it looked like it was like leaning to the right a little bit. So I end up moving that around, playing with it, and I'm adding a quad of 5-inch balloons on top of that, just so I can, extend it out a little bit longer. And as I've been mentioning in my previous videos, and I'm going to mention it again, when you inflate your 5-inch balloons, you want to inflate them to 3 or 3.5 inches. You don't want to overinflate your 5-inch balloons, because you don't want them to blend in with your actual cluster. You want them to detail your cluster. So 3 or 3.5 inches is good enough for your 5-inch balloons. Unless that's the look you're going for, then, do what you like. Overinflate them if you want. And now just still continue to add it. So this is pretty much the end of it, of me, making this setup. It was just, a quick garland for the housewarming with the client requested, or what they, the size they requested for the most part, or, pay for it. Oh gosh. This is how everything turned out though, you guys. And we had some tent troubles. Like the tent kept popping off in the front. This is not, of course, my tent or anything. And it was kind of moving the garland, and because I don't think that white one was sticking out. I'm going to go back and end up fixing it and pushing it back, because it ended up becoming really bulky at the bottom, if you guys notice. And that was definitely not the look I was going for. And it may be because I used, now looking at it too, as I mentioned, I had used those 2 double 16 balloons. I ended up hiding it a little bit. When I go back and reshape it, you guys are going to see. But I don't think I'll probably do that again. Yeah, it's probably a while, unless I'm doing, I don't know. It's all, see, everything is, case by case. Nothing is like concrete. The style, the technique, and the tips and the styles are concrete. But as far as the design go, the design could be anything. Like anything you thinking of, how you feeling that day, anything. So it's hard to trying to give tips on design. More so because the design is you. It's your personal style, what you like, what you don't like. I can give you tips and foundation information on how to build it. But as far as style and what shape you like, it's all you and personal. So this is the final look. And as you see, I added some of those clear balloons. And this is how everything look. And I probably definitely could have done something different. I don't know. As again, I was restrained to the pole. Maybe I could have added clusters at the top. I don't know, you guys. This is how everything looks. And this is how everything looks with the tables. They have, as you see, the red and white checker. I maybe could have did yellow, even though it would have looked like mustard and ketchup. Maybe I could have just did, the client ain't tell me about the yellow. I didn't know about the yellow until I came on site. But maybe I could have did like the mini garlands in yellow. Maybe add some sunflower to the garland as well. And so many things you can do with these setups. But this is how everything came out. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.